Hey everyone, and welcome back. As always, I am Jay Priest, and today we are leaving my childhood behind. So join me as we travel to the year 2005, to the year where one of my favorite games of all time was released. You see, Shadow of the. Wait, what? We aren't doing that one? Oh, oh, my other favorite game from 2005. Okay, so God of what? Not that one either? Okay, all jokes aside, I grew up a huge fan of adventure games and murder mysteries. So when I learned about a game called Still Life, I had to play it. Not a lot of people have heard of this one, but I absolutely loved it. It really is one of my absolute favorite games from 2005. So, why isn't it more popular? Why haven't more people played this game? I think I need to sit back and ask myself, Still Life, is it pure nostalgia? So, let's start with the setting. Pretty important for a game like this. It's the Christmas season, and FBI agent Victoria McPherson is doing what anyone would want to do for the holidays: solve a series of brutal murders. The game picks up with the discovery of victim number 5. She arrives on location just in time to help gather some evidence. The setting is set and it fits right in with any other murder mystery plot. That's not to say it's generic, but I also can't say it's unique in any way. So let's take a bit to focus on the gameplay in this initial bit. You navigate the screen by clicking where you want to go. You can also use WASD, but, you know, why do you want to be wrong? So, doing it the right way, a left click will move Victoria or interact with the world around you. You know, context sensitive. A right click will open your menu and allow you to combine items or take them to be used with objects in the environment. In this tutorial part, you simply use the camera to take some pictures, use swabs to collect blood samples, and tweezers to collect fibers. Don't think you will use too many investigative skills, though, because you won't. This feels like they wanted more of this in the game since they use it to introduce you to the game's mechanics, but then you don't do a whole lot of investigating. At least as Vic. You see, eventually you head to your father's house to exchange Christmas gifts, and it's here that you discover the journal of your grandfather, Gustav McPherson. Now, Gus is the most stereotypical noir-style private detective of all time. The game knows it, at least, but we'll come back to that in a bit. So, when Vic reads this journal, you are transported to the past and play as Gus during one of his investigations that took place in Prague. The similarities to that case and the one that Vic is investigating back in the present are almost immediately, well, present. Vic had discovered that her victims may be working girls, and the victims back in Prague are definitely that. The method of the killer are the same as well. Now, I genuinely enjoy how this narrative is told. Switching between the two characters to uncover what happened in the past and discovering what links that to the present is so well done. I really don't want to go into too much detail about the story here because if you haven't ever played this game, well, no spoilers. Just know that this is how the narrative unfolds. Investigate as Gus in the past, discover the connections in the present as Vic. So, if I can't go into the story, what can I go into? Well, first I can talk about the voice acting. There is some incredible voice acting here. But then there's this.
Stand here and don't cross this line here. Oh, no, not this again. He always does this with the new guys.
Now, listen to this delivery.
I distinctly remember asking for both you and Miller.
Ah, never mind.
And listen to this delivery.
Yeah, the American is talking to the girl's boss.
This is the same voice actor. What direction was he given when he was reading for Roman? Yeah, but pretend like you have no idea how to read lines. Pretend like this is your first time in a booth. Because when compared to his Todd Browning, I mean...
Never mind. I just hope you haven't forgotten that he is your partner.
Luckily, most of the game you'll be hearing Gus and Vic. Sven Eriksson and Sarah Ledger do great work that feels natural and sometimes a little campy, which is perfect for a game like Still Life. When I looked these two up, I was shocked at the lack of work for them. I really wanted to point these two out by name, not because they were the leads of the game, but because I am genuinely a fan of the work they did here. I think that their work in particular is a major part of what I always enjoyed about this game. Here's some of that work so you guys can let me know what you think.
Let's go, Miller.
Okay, where to?
The office. What?
I got
Do you like them?
Oh, sorry.
Hey, anybody hurt?
We're okay!
A taser. Hey, I could use it on Todd. It might give him a personality. I pursued the perp with the 4x4 into the alleyway. He climbed up a fire escape to the rooftop. When I got up there, he gave me a surprise blow to the shoulder with a 2x4. He got away through the other fire escape. This is bullshit.
You're only proving my point.
You know, Browning? I usually get kissed before I get fucked.
And remember earlier when I said Gus is a walking stereotype, but the game is pretty self-aware? Well, here's a couple of those examples, and, you can see what I mean.
I had a feeling that the cooperation between Skalnik and me had just ended. It was testing me for some reason. I was left to fend for myself. My Ida, the best gams in all of Eastern Europe. She's my angel and the love of my life. I met her on a small case I was working. She used to dance in the neighborhood cabaret. She was involved with the married man I was following. It was love at first sight. Hey, look at you all dolled up.
Yes, I have. But who listens to a homeless bum? Especially not one who outwits the inspector. That Inspector Skalnik is quite a unique individual.
Unique, huh? Is that Latin for asshole?
So now that I'm done with my love letter to Sven and Sarah, let's move on to the puzzles. Puzzles are a huge part of games like this, and on that front, Still Life mostly delivers. The earliest puzzle that will actually challenge you is the one where you have to open a chest in order to find Gus's journal. The chest uses a locking mechanism with symbols you'd recognize as the suits on playing cards. In order to figure out the combo, you need to look at the necklace Vic's father gave her that belonged to her grandmother. You then realize that rotating each tumbler will rotate another, and you must solve this pattern to figure out how to line the proper combination up and open the chest. This kind of puzzle is always a challenge for me, but not one that frustrates me. Another puzzle that I really enjoyed was this VIP statue puzzle late in the game. It's certainly much easier to figure out, but it is presented with this dark, gothic-like aesthetic that I really enjoy. I can't say I much enjoy the rooms that come after this puzzle, but if it's your thing, I am certainly not here to kink shame.
Hey, it's a Bob, battery-operated boyfriend. Not that I know what it's for or anything.
Now, with these puzzles, I do want you to note that I said the game mostly delivers. I will now point you to the gingerbread puzzle. Vic needs to bake some gingerbread men for her father. She busts out her grandma's recipe and proceeds to realize that her grandma is a troll. 1 cup of love, 2 cups of commitment. What the fuck is this shit? I wish I could tell you how you were supposed to figure this out, but I can't. I used a walkthrough. I can solve every mystery and figure out the solution to every puzzle, but these cookies would prevent me from ever finishing this game if not for a walkthrough. I needed the walkthrough only on this puzzle. How do you solve this puzzle? Please, if you watch this and you know how to come up with the answer, please let me know in the comments. You will finally solve a 17-year-long mystery for me. So now I've touched on story and voice acting, gameplay, and the puzzles. I guess that means there's only one thing left to discover. The big question. Still life. Is it good? Or is it pure nostalgia? That's not really easy for me to answer. Because everything in this game has been done better. Even back when this game released, we had games that could deliver better puzzles and a better plot. But does that mean that this game wasn't good? Of course not. I do think Still Life is worth playing. I've played through it 3 times since buying it on Steam. And that doesn't count playing it originally back in 2005. This really is one of my favorite games to release that year, but you're allowed to like bad things too. So if I had to give an answer here, and I guess I do since that's like the whole point of the show, I would say that Still Life is more than nostalgia. Even with its flaws, there's just something about this game that draws me in and makes me want to know more. In the end, Still Life is a fun experience, and I fully believe more people need to experience this game. I really wanted to go more in depth with this story, but even more than that, I want more people to experience this game and all of its glory and all of its campiness. There's even a sequel that's something that I intend to look at in the very near future. I mean, I would like to even maybe see a Still Life 3. And who knows? Maybe if anybody watches this, they'll get curious. And then maybe you guys would enjoy this story just as much as me. And maybe